Hello there, everyone. I'm James Milan, and this is the Town Hall Update. Our town manager, Jim Feeney, is joining us in studio, as he always does. And today, lots to cover, as always. Jim will tell us about how the town was awarded a pair of grants totaling up to $80,000 to help with the business districts in town. Then there's the fall street sweeping operation that starts next week. Parallel Park Playground also opens next week with public feedback being sought on the Crosby Park Tennis Courts. There is also an upcoming forum to share results on the Net Zero Action Plan update, and then 2 new hires to welcome as well. And finally, a little recap on the commemorations of the new high school. Whew. Okay, Jim, where should we start?
Thank you, James. Certainly a busy time of year. Before we dive in, just want to offer a quick reminder to our residents that there is no delay in trash collection next week for Veterans Day. So Waste Management will be in town and they will be collecting trash on Tuesday. So no delay for the remainder of the week.
Sorry, this follows a pattern that started, I know, back with Indigenous Peoples Day in October. This is how it's going to be from now on in general. With most holidays, there won't be a delay? Or?
Yeah, so we are observing only half of the holidays that we used to observe. I think the waste hauler calls them the Big Six. Okay. But so there will be 6 holidays that are observed and where there will be a delay for the remainder of the week. But for the remainder of the other holidays, of which there was maybe 6 or 7, we will not be observing them anymore. So the Friday route will no longer be getting pushed into the weekend, which is a good thing.
But another good reason for people to tune into Town Hall Updates, so should they know which will be the story going forward. Sorry for the interruption.
No, that's all right. And I guess while we're on the topic of Veterans Day, we will have 2 events next week. On November 10th, which is Monday at 11 a.m. at the corner of Churchill and Windermere Avenues, we will be placing a memorial to dedicate to the life of Private First Class Christopher Brine, who was a United States Marine who gave his life in Vietnam in 1967. And then the following day, on Veterans Day, November 11th, we will gather at 10:15 in the morning in the Walgreens parking lot, as we always do. And then proceed to the Central Fire Station at 411 Mass Ave. And then at approximately 11 a.m., there will be a ceremony inside the Central Fire Station on the Apparatus Bay floor. The public is welcome to participate in any of those activities. Of course, we'll be doing then a wreath laying at the Arlington Veterans Monument in front of the fire station to conclude the ceremony. So please, all are welcome. And again, while we're on the topic, I just want to congratulate our Veterans Service Director, Colonel Phil McGovern, on his upcoming retirement. He will be retiring as of November 14th, so a few days after Veterans Day. He certainly went above and beyond in advocating for Arlington's veterans and worked very collaboratively with our Veterans Council, and really grew community engagement around our Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies. So we thank him not only for his military service, but his service to the town, and we wish him well in his soon-to-be retirement.
Absolutely. And just a quick note that should the weather be inhospitable or for any other reason people can't make it to the ceremony, ACMi will be carrying that as well. Moving on.
So I guess now to some good news. We did recently get notified by the Commonwealth that we were selected for 2 grant awards through the Executive Office of Economic Development, and this was through the fiscal year 26 Community One Stop for Growth application. So there are 2 awards. The first is for up to $50,000 in refundable tax credits through the Massachusetts Vacant Storefront Program. What that will do will allow us to support up to 5 businesses with up to $10,000 each in tax credits. And this will sort of go a long way in our ongoing effort to try to combat some of the long-term vacancies we have in some of our storefronts up here in the Heights, but also in Arlington Center as well. And it also may be an opportunity to allow some smaller businesses that may be struggling to enter Arlington's commercial market with a little bit of financial relief. And then secondly is an award of up to $30,000 in technical assistance through the Massachusetts Downtown Initiative. And how we intend on spending that, James, is to study the creation of parking benefit districts in Arlington Heights and in East Arlington, and recommend a potential implementation strategy. So as you know, we do have a parking benefit district currently in Arlington Center, and that is where we have the opportunity to put in parking meters, and we can use the net income from that revenue to reinvest in the parking district towards improvements to all sorts of amenities within the confines of that parking benefit district. So we're excited to begin exploring that. Obviously, the Arlington Center was put in place quite a while ago, and we've been eager to potentially look elsewhere in our business districts to pursue that initiative. So
that parking benefit district is basically allowing the town to install parking meters and then use the revenue that those generate for the benefit of the community.
Yeah, it's to sort of work in a revolving manner where you get those revenues and then you put them back into the district for sidewalk improvements, holiday lighting, new benches, new trash cans, you name it. Like you have the opportunity to really impact the streetscape.
Right, and real concrete benefits.
Yeah.
No pun intended there.
So, in both of those instances, I want to give my kudos to our economic development coordinator, Katie Lusai, who secured both of these grants to sort of help us start advancing these two initiatives, which are things that have long been on the minds of both Arlington officials and residents.
All right. And a different form of kind of street improvement, street sweeping is starting on November 10th, I understand.
That it is. The fall townwide sweep will begin on Monday. We'll go on hiatus on the Veterans Day holiday on Tuesday because town hall administrative offices and the libraries are closed. But, I bring that up today just to let folks know that it is about to start, but also to remind everyone that if you want to be alerted via text or email when sweepers will be in your neighborhood, you can provide your text and email information in your Arlington Alert profile, which can be accessed through the town's website. Of course, if you already received texts and emails, no further action is necessary, but it is a great tool to know exactly when we will be in your neighborhood. Of course, we start sequentially with the first route, but the routes can take different amounts of time. It's weather dependent. So the best way to know when we're going to be coming is to sign up for this system. And then finally, a reminder that we're generally in a neighborhood for 2 days. So just want to encourage people, if you parked off street and then you see the street sweeper go by, that first time, that doesn't mean we're done. Sometimes it may take multiple passes to complete a street. We may go by and there may be a lag because we have to go empty the hopper on the street sweeper of debris. That driver may get called away for an emergency, any number of things that could happen. So we usually say, don't be in a rush to go put your car back on street the minute you've seen it go by once. We're generally in the neighborhood for 2 days trying to deliver as clean a sweep as possible.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to become a theme of this particular update today, but yet another real good reason to tune into these updates, because there's no way you can convey that kind of information that you just shared with us, on the town's website or in the other ways that you do it. And that's really providing some good context and good instruction for folks. So again, just to reiterate, don't just think if you've seen it pass once that it's done, and behave accordingly.
I appreciate that.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, let's get on to the playground and park updates that you want to share.
Sure. We're very pleased. We're nearing the end of construction season, obviously, and we are planning for a ribbon cutting over at Parallel Park. So the Recreation Department and our Park and Recreation Commission have announced the opening of Parallel Park will take place on Thursday, November 13th. So this is the park that's located at the intersection of Parallel Street and Medford Street. This new park includes all new playground equipment, a new basketball court, a new designated off-leash dog area, which is of interest to many. There will be an ADA accessible pathway throughout the park, and a new ADA accessible water fountain. So a lot of great features. There's now going to be an entrance on Medford Street, so there are 2 access points to the park. We want to invite residents to come celebrate with us. So there will be a brief ribbon cutting ceremony at the park, again on Thursday, November 13th at 3:30 p.m. We hope to see you there.
And just like with all November outdoor events, fingers crossed that the weather cooperates to some degree. How about Crosby Park?
Well, just a brief note on Menotomy Rocks Park, because there has been some temporary fencing that has gone up in the play area there. I do want to let folks know, due to some delays, construction really will not begin in earnest on that playground area until next construction season, which is usually sometime in April. Obviously we apologize for those delays, but look forward to getting underway early next year, and then being back here in the hopefully sometime late summer, fall, and announcing a ribbon cutting for that new recreational asset.
Okay, I'm sorry. Does that, just to clarify, does that mean that it will be inaccessible? Those fences will remain up, and that just won't be accessible?
That is correct.
For the next number of months.
Yep.
Okay.
And then finally, the Crosby Park Tennis Courts are sort of the next effort that's underway. At their October 14th meeting, the Park and Recreation Commission, through their consultant Activitas, presented some background about the project that's being planned there, which included an analysis of the existing court conditions and potential design concepts of what those court areas could look like moving forward. So we're seeking additional public input, and we want feedback on those different design concepts. So we really are inviting folks to take the survey that's available on our website before November 14th. That is because the Park and Recreation Commission will again be meeting on November 18th, where Activitas will report back and recommend some next steps, especially based on that survey input, so that we can proceed towards a final design and get that project into the next stage of implementation. So please do visit our website to find out more.
Yeah, more public input opportunities as always. And the Net Zero Action Plan, NZAP. Tell us about the forum.
Sure. So the Department of Planning and Community Development and our Clean Energy Future Committee will be hosting a forum at the Arlington Community Center in the main hall at 27 Maple Street on Wednesday, November 19th at 7 p.m. So our Net Zero Action Plan, I know we've discussed this before, was published in 2021. It's on a 5-year update cycle. So here we are. This is our roadmap to getting to net zero greenhouse gas pollution by 2050. So we're inviting folks to the forum to learn more about this planning process and to provide their input on the draft plan and where we are with the implementation of the various plan actions. So please join us.
All right, great. And let us talk about a couple of new hires at Town Hall.
Sure. Just 2 quick intros on a couple key hires. We do have a new treasurer and collector. Her name is Lynn Gallagher. Lynn is a very long time Arlington resident, but has also been employed by the town for the past 3 years, most recently as the deputy treasurer and collector, but before that, the assistant collector of water and sewer, and then the assistant collector of real estate as well. So really well-versed in the operations of that department and how the town operates. So we're very pleased to have her stepping up into this role. And then on the recreation side of things, we have hired an assistant director of recreation, Courtney Duggan. She will work closely with our recreation director to oversee the departmental operations and, to ensure we continue to deliver sort of exciting but also excellent quality recreational services to our residents and children.
Great. Welcome to them. And I think last on the agenda is a little bit of a reference to a quite lovely event on quite lovely conditions that took place last week.
Sure. Yeah, a brief recap. So last Saturday, we had a ribbon cutting and open house at the newly completed Arlington High School. Well, I think at least maybe 1,500 people I think the count was, I heard, turned out for the open house and to get a tour of the building. They got to see all the different features of the completed high school that maybe they hadn't seen before or that were completed in the most recent phases. Prior to that, earlier in the day, we did have a ribbon cutting ceremony with various town and school officials, the Arlington High School Building Committee members, local legislators, our project partners, including the Massachusetts School Building Authority. I do want to note that we did have the opportunity at that ceremony to recognize a few key people, and they were our former superintendent of schools, Dr. Kathy Bodie, and we posthumously recognized our former Capital Planning Committee member and Arlington High School Building Committee member, Brian Rarig. And there's going to be spaces in the building dedicated to both of those individuals for the efforts they made to bring this project to fruition. Specifically, the new lecture space will now be called the Dr. Kathleen Bodie Discourse Lab, and the new Black Box Theater will be dedicated to Mr. Brian Rarig.
All right, that is wonderful news. And again, time to just enjoy all the work that has been put in over the last, I don't know, what is 8 years more?
Better part of a decade.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it will be here for a very long time. So congratulations to you, everybody responsible for the different pieces of that, and then also to all of us who have paid the price and will now enjoy the benefits.
Yeah, and if I could, I would add, because we should tout this, right? The project was completed on time and under budget. So kudos to the Arlington High School Building Committee for I think there was hundreds and hundreds of meetings throughout the course of the project. Obviously, coming in on time and under budget is no small feat on such a complex project. And, I have to admit, I was here during the planning stages of the building, and it seemed like a bit of a pipe dream the better part of a decade ago to envision us having an all-electric high school of that magnitude. But what was a pipe dream now is now, right, it's reality for us. It is like the model in sustainability as well as education for our community, but beyond.
Yeah, I mean, it was an ambitious plan. And again, let's just say those magic words one more time: on time and under budget.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right, what a great place to end up, unless you found something else in all these pages that you need to talk about.
All right, that's it for today. Thank you.
All right, absolutely. Jim Feeney, our town manager, has joined us for this town hall update and shared a whole lot of information as always. Thanks, Jim, for being here, and thank you as well. I'm James Milan. This is Town Hall Update. We'll see you next time.